So I think that's a nice little transition in here to our last app of the evening, which is House Hunters. And I'm going to bring up Buddy and Ryan to talk about the next phase of life, I think, right? All right.
Hi,
Hello.
My name is Buddy Rich,
My name is Ryan Smith.
and we are the creators of Home Hunters. And so we're going to talk to you a little bit today about the idea. So this idea came from going out and looking for a home. We've all been there. We've all been looking for that place to call home, to take our shoes off at night, lay our head. And so with doing this, you have to use a third-party site. We all know that. We've used multiple ones. We're not going to name any names, but it becomes kind of an issue. You lose that personal connection that you once had with your agent. You have to find another agent that's linked online, and then hope that you can get that home's information, and hope that it's credible. So our solution that we found was to give buyers and agents the right tools to make it more streamlined and keep that personal connection with the buyer. So in doing this, we went out and we researched the problem. The problem is that agents were losing the personal touch. They were no longer connected to the buyer, so the buyer felt as if they could go with another agent. They could click that agent to the right of the page. So by doing that, they created a real big issue. Agents, their bread and butter is selling homes. They want to keep that connection, and the users don't want to search. So we went to Central Florida Real Estate Investors Group. We went to one of their meetings. They are the biggest real estate investors, the second biggest real estate investors group in the country. And we went and talked to the agents and the home buyers. And we found that they're tired of paying hundreds of dollars a month to keep that personal connection and to even have a chance with that personal connection. So our target audience, we did some more research, and we went and found that our average home buyer is a 32-year-old male, go figure, who is college educated and who has a family with kids. So I fit that perfect target audience, and so going out and meeting other individuals like me was no problem. We also went and talked to these agents. The average agent is a 46-year-old woman who uses technology on a daily basis, and they mostly use tablets.
All right, so here you can see we have our agent side tablet. Agents are specifically only on tablet because agents who we've spoken to have said that they more like showing house information and photos and all that kind of stuff on tablet. So we decided to go tablet only for the agents. And as you can see here, they can send suggested homes to their clients. They can view user favorites here on the right side with all the client's information and basic street. And you can add a home that everybody, all the clients can see, even if they're not yours. And yeah, like I said, tablet only. Yeah.
So next we go to our add homes listing. This is for where the agent would be adding their home listing. So Century 21, Remax, all these local real estate companies, they go ahead and they have to use a third-party site, or they pull their information from MLS and they have to give it to third-party companies to list it for them. A lot of their standalone websites are not, or applications are not as good as what they needed to be for the buyers. This is why you find a lot of people using these third-party sites. So right here, the agent will go ahead and he can enter a home address that he has. And if it's a valid home, it'll go ahead and allow him to add it. If it's not, it'll go ahead and it'll kick back an error, and it'll let the agent know that is not a actual home. And so you can go ahead and you can make the changes. When it is an actual home, it pulls down from our API, and that's how we're getting our home details for it. So the agent doesn't even have to list the bedrooms, the bathrooms, everything. This is all information that they already have that they're now having to pay a third-party company. Now they don't have to. They just pull it down. So they can go ahead and they can add their own custom images, as you can see, and they can also send the homes from right here.
All right, so once the agent has added a home, they will be taken back to their map screen, and they will see their pen come up with the details of the house that they just added. And from here, we just have the basic information. We don't want to give it all here. We just want to give the bread and butter, what the basic information, the beds, the baths, the price. So And from here, they can interact with the user's favorites as they could before. And next, we will be dealing with suggestions.
So here is where the agent will suggest a home. We went ahead and did it this way so that the agent would be able to select multiple users. So when our users sign up, which you'll see here in a moment, they have pre-qualifications. We all have the budget that we have to stay within. We have the beds and baths. And those are like the most important thing. I know with my family, we better have 3 bathrooms. With kids and a wife and myself, we have to have them. So those were the important things that we found. And so right here, you'll see the multiple selection. You can click 1, you can click 2. They highlight, they change color. We give a haptic feedback with it so that the user knows that something's going on. We also tell them with a little toast, hey, you selected this person, so if they accidentally didn't, well, they can unclick them. And the reason that we ended up doing with the pre-qualifications is because we want the user to have what they want. We don't want you to just go out and find the home that you might love but you can't afford, or the house that looks beautiful but it doesn't have the bathrooms. So when the agent clicks on that info window, they can see what the beds and baths are. So when they click into here, they can see what clients need those beds, need those baths. Is this in their price range? Yes? Sweet. I'm gonna send it to all of my people. So from here, we go ahead and we go into our agent selection on our user side.
All right, so what you just saw was all agent side. So now we are on the user side on the phone. So when you log in, you say, I am pre-qualified, I'm not pre-qualified. If you are, then we're gonna go ahead and ask you your basic information here. How many beds you want, how many baths you like, what your budget is. And then after that, you go into this agent selection screen. And all of our agents that are in whatever company decides to use this application will be loaded in. And then once you select that, you are linked to your agent. And the reason we do this is so that later on, when you're looking at the details for the house and you want to call the agent, you don't want to wait, you want to call them right then, you can do that. Or like we just showed you with the suggestions, the agent can send it to multiple people, and right then, boom, 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 goes right to the user that they are now linked to. And also the user can favorite a home, and because of that link, the agent gets the information, lets them know, hey, this user's interested in this house.
So from there, we go to the home listings. This is where the user is going to see all the homes. So if you just signed up, you're probably not gonna have many suggested homes. So even if that's blank, don't worry. You can view every listing that is listed within that agent's company. So it doesn't matter if it's a home that he sent to you, it doesn't matter if it's a home you favorited, you can see them all. We don't want to limit them. We want to let them see what we have to offer. And we don't want anybody to just log into a screen and say, what am I supposed to do? I don't have anything, I have to wait on my agent. That's not how it should be. It should always be a fluid motion. We want to give them some form of interaction. They need to stay with this application and use it, and that is our goal. So from here, you can go ahead and you can view the favorites, you can see the suggested, and you can browse all the listings. So from here, we go ahead and we go into our Google map.
So we decided to use Google Maps to give the user a more visual interpretation of the listing, while they're also looking at the basic information. You don't want to just see the details about a house and not really see where it's at. Like, as you can see, oh, there's, some pools around, so maybe it's a nicer neighborhood, this and that. But we also wanted to allow users to enter Street View from the view of the map. So you're over top, you go, hey, I don't know if this is the house I'm necessarily looking at. You can long press on that on the info window there and be taken to Street View and navigate around, see what's around you, see if that is the house you're actually looking at. And we also implemented geofences. So say you're driving around the listing and we have this imaginary circle around the house. You drive past it, it'll let you know with a notification, hey, you just passed this listing, and you can enter the notification and go to our details page to view the information for the house.
So as Ryan was saying, you can view that detailed information for the house. And so by seeing that, you're gonna go ahead and get all the home's information. So that information we told you about, where the city, the state, the zip, where it's from, all that information, that is all done through either the notification from the geofence when you've passed that house while searching through that neighborhood, or just from that map sheet. from seeing your listing that you clicked on. You can view all that information. It's scrollable, so if a company needed to add more information or a house has more information than another home, then we can go ahead and show that. We don't ever have to worry about it. It's definitely dynamically built so that it just can keep on being built upon. What we also did, that importance of connecting that agent. As you'll see, there's that little call button at the bottom. What that does is that lets you call your agent from right within inside the app. You don't have to wait. I have a question, I love this house, I'm calling my agent right now. And I'll call him, get him on the phone, and let's go look at it. I've already seen the rest of it. So next, we go into our challenges. This was kind of interesting. I was living afar from Full Sail while working with my partner Ryan, who was living locally.
Almost a couple times.
Yeah, we definitely crashed on some couches. So it was definitely an interesting experience. We had some communication challenges, definitely.
Definitely.
Not just between us, but between our client and us. You know, as a developer, we start this program and we think we know it all. Little can I tell you we don't. We feel that we have a great mastery when we're at this point, but we still don't know everything that needs to be involved. So as a developer, I definitely feel that knowing what your client needs and being on the same page with what features you think you're building versus what your client thinks you're building is very important. And it's important because it affects the rest of the things. It will challenge you as a developer. You're gonna have multiple time constraints.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, there'll be times that you know, somebody will tell me something and I'll fill out this great idea in my head, and you know, I got all this other background stuff going on that nobody else can think of because they don't know programming or anything like that. So you run into those problems where, you know, you're 10 steps ahead when you think you're only 2.
Definitely. And we also had a couple really issues that we had never had. And we've worked on projects previously together, but we came across some really weird bugs during this project. It was our first time ever using 2 applications on the same Firebase that were both Android. We've done iOS and Android separately, but these were both Android. Like we said, it's a tablet and a phone build. And it created some issues. Along with Google updating Firebase during this, it kind of threw us for some reprogramming that we had to do.
They updated their Firebase storage, which is what we use for all our images, and there was just the file extension changed. But to us, we initially looked at it and we're like, "Ooh, what is this?" You know, I hope it still works with my code, and you know, luckily it did. But you know, that stuff is always changing. Like Josh was just saying, they just announced Swift 4, so you know, always changing.
And the last challenge that we had, which was the biggest one, was our hardware. We had some computer issues during this, a lot of IDE issues. We had some Git repository issues with pushing and pulling our code to each other.
I had to be DJ with my USB port.
Yeah, definitely.
Just because I couldn't get it to work.
I think you should get a recording arts degree for
I
that
should,
now.
yeah.
So, yeah, we definitely met our fair share of challenges, but like Josh had said, we were given the tools to overcome them, and we did. We hit the ground running. We knew we had to get it done, and no excuses, and we got it done.
Weren't afraid to stay up on those lazy nights.
As long as it takes.
Yeah.
And that's it. That is